Hey, welcome to Luke and Lewis via Zoom. Welcome back, everyone.
Oh, we were starting. Welcome.
Zoom
Missed
rocks.
We didn't do like an on your marks, set, go. You kind of just, that was a cold open right there, and I was texting. So
Yeah, it would probably sound a lot better for the listener because Keelan has edited in me pressing the button. So
okay. Yeah,
well,
see,
very awkward for you. Very
for
good
me,
for the
no
listener.
button. People would have been like, "Geez, Luke heard the music, still didn't react." There was no music for me. I thought you were talking to Keelan, and I was like, "That sounds like Lewis's announcer voice." I should look up from my phone. And
Yeah, when I'm
goddamn,
not doing this podcast, I have a Russian accent.
yes, it's true. Exclusively. I thought you were an old Japanese woman.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Whenever I'm not recording, I am speaking Japanese, and I would love to do that, but we're recording the podcast, so you guys will never hear it.
That's totally fair. How was your week? So last week we had to do an emergency episode. I would call it an emergency episode just because you joined us and then you left for a Gucci sale. That was weird.
Yeah, look, I'm a little bit unhappy with how I was imitated in last episode. It appears that obviously wasn't me. Okay.
Oh.
And I have the
me.
evidence.
Yeah, you were
I
wearing
have
a
the evidence to
turtleneck.
prove it. Okay, I was wearing a turtleneck. All right.
And you
that
had your
does-
hair
slicked
slicked
back.
back, and you
Okay,
had
that
your
does sound
necklace
like me.
on.
Okay,
And
that
you were
does sound
talking
like
about
me.
shitting your pants after eating buttered chicken. That sounds like you.
I've
It's-
told that story a few times. That sounds like me. Okay, but all right.
Do you have
All
any
of-
other evidence against it? Because currently it's looking like you just now are not trying to admit that you shat yourself or something.
Hey, I absolutely shit myself, but that was not me telling the story, okay? I'm a proud pants pooper. Those butter chicken pies were worth it. I would do it again. And in fact, that's the worst part about lockdown. I can't go down and get those every day until I uncontrollably shit my own pants in the middle of the day, completely sober. I would like to say that was definitely not me, and I can prove it. All right? That imposter said that he had to leave because there was a sale at the Gucci store. Now, any designer fashion fan would know that Gucci doesn't do sales.
Mate, I
So-
said that when
don't
he
do
left.
sales.
When
You
he
clarified at the end of the episode. You said that there was a sale on.
That's
out
true,
the front
because
of
I
Lloyd's
asked
at
you-
midnight in Frankston.
I asked you at the time. I said,
Yeah.
Lewis, that's strange because I know designer brands don't do sales because otherwise it devalues their product. It's also why Apple only do 10% off, right? It's just to keep the value of their product higher. I then asked you about this. You then clarified and said, no, it was this one-off thing. It was only at midnight in Frankston, and you got $20 off. So it wasn't a huge discount.
Yeah, okay. Do you think that there would be any Gucci in Frankston? And if there is, do you think it's real? No.
That's true. All right. Well, man,
Other
maybe
than
I
my
was
shit.
fooled. So hang on. So who was it then? Was it Keelan?
I think it was Keelan trying to assassinate my character ahead of this swim race. He's trying to get me disqualified from our swim race by assassinating my character.
Well, I just think it made you look cooler. Like, honestly, you shitting yourself sober in the middle of the day is probably like the coolest thing about you. That's really, I think it's like an alpha move.
Honestly, I think that shitting my pants, laughing, jumping in the shower, and then telling everyone about it is pretty alpha.
I
you
think
know?
it's like not even that childish. I actually think there's nothing more grown up than handling it like that. Like,
Yeah.
if you do shit yourself, like just as a listener, next time you shit yourself as a grown adult, start a podcast and start yelling about it within the hour.
Yeah.
And people will actually respect you more than they did pre-shitting yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes,
It's alpha.
I went to bed pretty embarrassed that night because I came out and said that I've never had any bodily function like errors go wrong really as an adult. I mean, there might have been the odd skid mark or two, but nothing crazy. You know, like nothing of that.
You never shit yourself as an adult.
No, and
Man, you got to try these pies.
Yeah, I think it's the bakeries I'm going to. I don't know what they're putting in those pies, but mine don't chock it full of laxatives.
They're not good enough. If you're not, look, if they don't drive you, the day after I went and I got another one.
Yeah, that's insane. That's crazy. That's the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Hey, I wasn't necessarily expecting a different result. I was expecting a sweet pie. And if I shat myself, whatever, collateral damage.
See, that's the luxury that we have being on the Nobby subscription, that you can pretty much tear through a week's worth of undies before you start acting differently, before you start changing anything about yourself or your diet.
Man, that was back in the Calvin Klein days, you know? I wouldn't do that if I was wearing Nobby because I respect those underwear.
Yeah, good. One time I did well, look, and I haven't talked about this on a public podcast, but it is on a Luke and Meg Patreon one somewhere. One time I did a cum on the floor. And that was a rough day, and we've all had that happen. It dripped, but that's too graphic. Whereas I think shitting yourself is more in the fun zone.
Yeah.
Whereas doing a jizz on your own floor as an adult.
Boys, I have a question for all of us. What the fuck has happened to our show?
What do you mean?
And that's why I kept that off the show at the time, from memory. I think.
What do you mean? What do you mean? We've been here for the first 6 minutes. All we've talking about is shit and cum.
That sounds like the show.
I was going to say, and I reiterate, what do you mean? People are tuning in going, a bit of regular scheduled programming from the boys.
Okay, all right. Well, as long as we're talking about shit, I guess it's time to talk about the warehouse poo. It's come back to orbit.
Yeah, I did a bad thing. I didn't realize at the time how many people... So, for those who don't know, and I know there's a lot of new listeners since this warehouse poo saga.
Welcome, TikTok fans.
Yeah, there was a poo that cemented itself in our old warehouse, right in the toilet. Who discovered it?
We used to do a show in a warehouse district surrounded by other warehouse workers, and there was a communal toilet that we shared with tradies, warehouse workers, homeless
Russians.
guys that lived in sheds, Russian gangsters, and a guy who thinks HDMI cords are the future. So it was not clean.
And also, legitimately, the odd Nazi or two. So quite a large demographic hitting this toilet.
About the Nazis.
Yeah,
Every now and then we'd see a guy walking around with a swastika armband. He'd call the cops and he'd be gone.
Yeah. That's literally where we used to do this show from. And then people were like, and that's the thing, now doing it over Zoom, it feels like a bit of an upgrade still because we're not there. You must have walked in there. Wonder who discovered it? Was it you or Keelan?
I think it was Keelan, yeah. Where
Yeah,
Keelan
really-
walked in.
Really annoyed me for the first couple of weeks because I then wasn't able to use any of the cubicles.
That's right. There was 3 cubicles. One door didn't lock. One was good, but that one ended up getting clogged by the terrible warehouse poo. And then there was one that was like kind of okay, but you didn't really want to use it. And we all had to use that one. And one day Keelan walks in and there's just this disgusting warehouse poo, right? That just stayed there for, how long was it? It was months.
It was months because this saga went on the show because it started off going, we were like trying to work out who did it because again, there's a range of suspects. We're trying to work out if it had Russian qualities to the poo. Then it solidified over time. And then the saga turned into not who did it. It was who's going to fix it. And when's it going to go? And then we were offering solutions. Like at one point we were just like, the only thing that's going to crack through this is a jackhammer. And someone raised...
I remember at some point, I believe someone just pooed on the poo. And then it evolved. Remember that?
Someone added
it was
a layer.
a couple of months in. Someone just added a layer, like it was a lasagna.
Radio Mike pissed on it.
That's true. He did do
and that didn't work. That was one of our solutions. We're like, or maybe someone pisses on it, it'll crack through it, you can flush it and it'll go away. It didn't work at all. It made it worse. Just like all the other solutions we had. So it sat there for months and months and months, and we talked about how disgusting it was. It was black. It was a black hole. It looked like someone had thrown like a bunch of black paint in cement and then put that in the toilet. That's what it looked like. So we posted a picture of that.
I was speaking to some of our Patreon members at my Perth show, right? And we were talking about the warehouse poo. And Tom from our Patreon, he raised a great point saying that you know what I've always thought about over the years is, sure, there was that hardened layer that couldn't be cracked through, but imagine if you crack through that first layer, the smell that would arise and the moisture that would have retained underneath.
I'm gonna vomit.
Oh, that would have just been. And then one day it just disappeared. One day, we don't know if they replaced the toilet. We don't know if they got a shovel. We seriously don't know.
That's right. There was a cleaner that would show up every week, and he was the cleaner, right? So every week we knew he would come. I think it was on a Thursday, and then on Friday morning we'd all be like, "Man, did he do his job?" Because we knew he saw it. Because one day I walked in, the cleaner was there. I saw him look to check if the shit was still there. Go, ugh. And then not clean it. He decided not to touch it.
Every day he'd look at it and quite literally think, I don't get paid enough for this shit.
And he was right. You know, I could have gone, hey, you going to clean that up, mate? Instead, I looked at him and I went, yeah, I know what you mean. I feel for you.
So anyway, this resurfaced because I was going through my phone looking for an old picture of us actually from a video. And then in my camera roll, I spot the TikTok that Keelan, I'll just show it to you. The TikTok that Keelan put up at the time of him green screening himself in front of the warehouse poo.
Right? We took a photo of it. It's disgusting.
And we only ever released the photo on Patreon. It is disgusting. And
or
I didn't
Keelan's TikTok.
Yeah, or it's on Keelan's TikTok. I think it got taken down.
Surely. Yeah, it did.
It's literally a bodily function. I don't think you're allowed that on the talk. But I posted that in the our Luke and Lewis Discord with the caption throwback and then the love heart eyes, right? Thinking that everyone had already seen it because we'd released it 2 years ago. I forgot that at the time a bunch of people boycotted it. They were like, fuck this. I'm not going to like voluntarily look at a gross shit. So to my surprise, Keelan's obviously gone, love that. I miss that poo. But some people start going, yuck. Like Whitey goes, yuck. That's the first time I've seen it. I have avoided it for years. Laura said, great. I can't unsee this. You can't unsee its wrath from Kingdom Lazar there. And people are just literally going to town on me in the Discord going, I've avoided this.
You got to remember, these people pay to be there.
But I thought
this is what you're delivering them.
I thought they'd seen it. So I didn't think I was committing a crime here.
Yeah.
So many people had avoided it for years and were trying to go the rest of their life without ever witnessing the warehouse poo. And I shoved it right in their faces out of nowhere.
Man, I sympathize with them because I am one of those people where if I hear about a disgusting thing, I'll go out of my way to not look at it. I still, to this day, have never seen Two Girls, One Cup, and I'm so happy for it. I remember when it was the thing in high school, everyone would watch it and then vomit, and there'd be videos of people on YouTube watching it and spewing, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to not watch that, and it's great. I reckon I'm a better person for it. So I sympathize with those people.
Well, for about 3 weeks on the show, probably 3 months, our show was Two Boys, One Shit. It was really all we talked about for a large portion of that period. Because that's all there was to talk about.
I just remembered. Do you know when we did that Sydney Luke and Lewis podcast show? We went out for drinks and stuff afterwards with the audience. And I actually got PayPal'd by two guys. They sent me $10 each to show them a photo of the poo.
What? When do you have the fucking time to do this? Every story you tell about you interacting with their audience, it's transactional. You're getting money from them for just literally shit. Nothing.
Actually, someone else in Perth came up to me the other night and said, oh, you know, once I offered Keelan $5 or $20 or something to sign something. And I was like,
that's right, in Bunbury.
Yes, it was in my Bunbury show. And
he gave me cash.
Yeah. And I go to them, oh, surely he didn't take it. And they were like, no, he did. And I was like,
of course I did.
Every fucking person who comes to one of our shows needs to bring cash if they want a positive interaction with Keelan. Like, we'll meet you for free and take a photo and have a chat. But if you want eye contact from Keelan, that starts at $7.
And then if you want to smile, it's 10.
Yeah. Literally,
I saw on fucking Keelan's Instagram story the other day of him trying to sell his VHS tapes, and he goes, I'm selling my VHS tapes, and the first price was ridiculous. It was like $20, and you don't even get to pick what you get. He'll send you a random tape. $50, he'll sign it, and then he goes, $100, and I'll piss on it. How many people are buying this?
Well, I made the mistake by saying it's hand delivered, so people internationally were trying to claim the hand deliver, but a lot. I don't think I've ever posted a story and received so much interaction from it. I reckon I got like 60 DMs, and that's not an exaggeration.
But did you get money off people? Did you actually follow through on this?
No,
I followed through before after those pies.
I've only actually ever...
You wouldn't shut up about it last week.
I've only received money from one person for these tapes, and that was that Jackson kid who I just took the money and never gave him his tape for. But that's... I've already spoken
Can
about
you
this
stop
on the show.
fucking ripping off our fan base constantly?
Don't go. Oh, but we've already spoken about this. Like, it's not still bad.
Keelan,
No.
You keep your entire personality behind a paywall. Think about it. Like your YouTube streams, sometimes you just you go live and you scream, "Give me cash," and if no one does, you just end it. Like you're like, "Oh well, I'm not gonna do that for free."
Yeah, I've done a stream before where I said I'm not speaking until I get $15. Someone donates me like $30, and then I go thank you and ended it straight away.
I was there for that. The only thing he said was thank you, and then it just stopped. He didn't say goodbye. He didn't say anything else. There was like 60 people in there that were like, oh, that's it? Oh, okay. I guess that's kind of funny. I don't know.
You know what's funny about Keelan is like, he doesn't need this. Like, you know how like if we do stuff like that, like word will get out that like, oh, Luke and Lewis, like they're pretty unlikable. You know, like, but Keelan doesn't need an audience. He doesn't need to be liked or anything. So if Keelan's kind of like doing social media, if everyone truly just did it the way they'd want to, like if it's just like, fuck you, give me money. Like you can't do that because then there's no relationship with your audience.
Luke, apparently you can because it's going great for Keelan. Like you and I honestly, I reckon if you combined the earnings of your and my streams versus Keelan's, we would come off as the loser, even though we would have easily more than 10 times the viewers. Because he's just sitting there yelling at them to give him money, and we're going, oh, we're going to entertain you. And if you happen to donate, that's really nice. Yeah. I reckon we got to switch it up, man. We got to stop being so nice.
Yeah, can you guys start simping for us instead of simping for Keelan?
Well, there is a rule, if you remember, Luke, on my streams that
Don't
simping for Luke is not allowed. Like, that's a bannable offense.
That's pretty annoying, actually. Anyway, so... Another thing we wanted to bring up just quickly with the Discord, I know we've got sidetracked here, but there was one case, actually, that came up to do with Keelan versus Pat. And an interesting, I guess it could be a new segment, we think. An interesting thing got brought up, which was someone, Pat, who committed a crime in the Discord. I'm not actually sure what the crime is yet, but he demanded that there should be a Crumb court. Because Keelan tried to send him to the Crumb corner, which we have, which is if you do a crummy thing, you've got to confess your sins in the Crumb corner, and then you can head back to regular chatting.
Yeah. I'll just give a really quick recap. It was in the latest episode discussion chat, and I said, hey guys, anyone, if you have ideas of topics, questions, anything you want us to discuss, let us know. James follows up straight away and says, come.
Very good.
And then I go, okay, real suggestions only. Any meme suggestions are to be sent to the Crumb corner.
No, that was a legitimate thing, and we've already discussed it. So James is going to be wrapped.
I singled out James and said, off to the Crumb corner you go. Pat follows up with, that's not very cum of you, Keelan. And then I said, okay, Pat, hope you enjoy the Crumb corner. And then
did they report to the Crumb corner?
No, he did not. He said, absolutely not. I'll take myself to Crumb Court before I go there for making an observational comment. I said, sorry, Pat, this Discord is a dictatorship. Off to the Crumb corner you will go.
Okay. Well, I wanna just interject here and say, yes, I agree with you, Keelan. This is a dictatorship. However,
I thought you were going to be like, no, Keelan, you do not get to dictate what happens in our Discord. You're happy with that.
Well, I'm happy that I would agree that yes, the Discord is a dictatorship, but I will say that Keelan is not the dictator. that you're overstepping it there. That's like going to North Korea and going, "This is a dictatorship, so you have to do what I say." No, you have to do what he says, the big boss man. That's not you. That's us. We're the dictators. All right, but. We're a dictatorship in the sense that we can't be voted out, but that doesn't mean that we can't be fair to our people. We just won't have elections, and if you try to uprise against us, we will respond with violence and the military. So I think that I like this idea of having Crumb Court.
I really like Crumb Court. I'm happy to hold the first case now with this. I guess I use this as to set a precedent.
Yeah.
Right. Of just idea suggestions for the show. I would like to represent Pat here.
Well, and actually, I think this is more James's case. I've got an email from James, the original man who was sent.
Oh, so he's complained to the manager.
He's actually sent an email pleading his case. So, Crumb Court is now in session. Keelan, play the Law and Order sound.
Imagine I hit the button.
All right, great.
Actually,
I can see it now.
Can we also get a gavel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
All right, when you want the gavel, you just have to pretend to hit a button.
No, I'll probably just do a gavel. I'll probably do that.
Order in the court. Crumb Court is now in session. This is from James. Hi, boys. It's me, James, from the Discord. Remember when you sent me to the Crumb Corner for saying that you should talk about cum on the recent podcast? I would like to point out that this entire show is founded upon cum chat and that I was merely following in the footsteps of you. I would also like to point out that I just listened to 20 minutes of chat about Luke's girlfriend farting. Cheers. And then he attached 2 pictures. The first picture, now this really helps his case, a picture of missing Link Do.
Ooh, very strong argument.
Yeah, but the second picture is a picture of Thanos wearing a suit. who must be his lawyer.
Very intimidating. Keelan?
Yeah. Oh, am I supposed to make a
I
statement?
sentence. Well, I don't know if Lewis will agree. I think Lewis will agree.
I'm impartial here. I'm the judge. So it's Luke versus Keelan here. And I'll do the sentencing.
Okay, I wanted to sentence him straight away, but I believe Keelan should have to go to the Crumb Corner and report himself for, firstly, overstepping his boundaries. You know, it's not his jurisdiction. He's not the dictator. Right? Also, I would agree that Keelan didn't uphold the core values of the show, which we all know is farts, poo, and cum. And shutting someone down for that in our Discord, particularly someone who supports the show, I would say a higher level contributor, that's not what we're about.
Okay.
And so already I was annoyed at him for not even... The fact that he said, what do you want us to talk about it? James said, come. And the fact that you didn't even acknowledge that as a real suggestion is not cool. And also, Pat's message afterwards was pretty funny. That's not very cum of you, Keelan. Now, he's put the word cool...
Objection. I know I'm the judge. I'm meant to be impartial here. That's not very cum of you. It's not that funny.
Yeah, that's not very funny.
But what he's done there, I don't think you've realized what he's done. He's replaced the word cool or like another word with cum.
Yeah, okay. But it doesn't rhyme. It doesn't make sense. It's,
But at the same time, can you agree, Your Honour, that it was not very cum of Keelan to do that?
I agree. I agree, and I retract my objection.
Okay.
Mr. Brown,
statement? Yep.
your statement.
So,
hang on, I'll just email you a picture of missing Link Do.
Okay.
That's going to help his case.
Good. So what I have to say is that Luke and I did a secret podcast the other day, and I did a very similar thing where I said, suggestions, comments, questions, anything you want, send them below. And people didn't give any real response. They all just said come. And at the time, that really frustrated me because we actually had nothing to talk about.
Right. Okay.
Well, mate, we could have talked about cum.
Yeah. So on the secret podcast, I brought up that.
Luke, you've had your time. All right. Let the defendant speak. But also, good point.
I brought up the fact that, you know, I didn't like that you guys were saying talk about cum. Mm-hmm. I thought I made that pretty clear in the Patreon podcast. So then when I put it in the latest episode discussion page, I thought the rules were clear. And I do realize now that actually saying that's not very cum of you is quite a good response, quite funny.
Objection. I still don't think it's that funny.
Well, I think it is. So, yeah, that's my statement. It's not much of a statement other than I was annoyed.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do here is I've reached a verdict. I'm ready to hand down my sentence. I will be sentencing both of you to the Crumb Corner. Keelan, for behaving too much like a dictator, and old mate for saying that's not very cum of you, because I personally don't think that's very funny. All of the other stuff, I'm all on board. Suggesting we talk about cum, quite funny, but I am still sending you to the cum corner for saying that's not very cum of you. Okay,
last thing actually, to just talk about James real quick and the Discord. So James actually redeemed himself the other day by saying, here's a real suggestion. A lot of TV shows during the pandemic have had their actors do a live table read of famous episodes of a Zoom. Perhaps you guys could transcribe the entire bowling episode, the Patreon episode, and do a live table read of that. I think he's redeemed himself there with such a good idea.
Okay, I retract my sentence. Report to the loaf corner. Keelan, head to the crumb corner. I like that idea. That's a good idea.
It's actually called the loaf zone.
The loaf zone. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not much of a corner. You get a whole zone.
You get a whole zone if you're a loaf. That turned into cum court pretty quick. It was supposed to be crumb court. I just want to make it very clear. Do we need a cum corner in the Discord to get out all this cum chat?
No, that's going to turn into something not good at all. I think that isn't a cum corner. Isn't that a 4chan thing? I don't think we want to touch that.
Okay. All right. Well, then cum chat remains in general chat. But I'm just saying you can't fight it, so you can either give it a place, right, where the cummies can go away and just come about, or it's going to infect the rest of the Discord as it is at the moment. Currently, we've got our own pandemic happening in our Discord, and that it's cum-19.
Okay, well, what will let's just let it simmer for now. We don't have to make any changes, but if we find that it gets out of hand, we could create a new zone in the Patreon Discord and call it like the tissue box or something.
Yeah, just we're gonna do what New South Wales did. All right, we've got a few cases of cum, but pretty much
we're just gonna let it rip.
We're gonna ignore it, but if you want, wear a mask. That's our advice.
Yeah. We're going to completely ignore it. We know there's a problem. We're entirely aware of how dangerous it is, but sucked in, deal with it.
Lewis?
What?
You know it's more free than free balling?
I don't know. I can't think of anything more free.
Not free balling in knobby underwear. Actually more comfortable. I tried it the other day. I ran with free balling because I just was in my trackies, right, around the house. Dude, would never do it again because I'm a part of the undie club. Yeah. Significant improvement of my day. For some reason, people always idolize this idea of free balling like it's the ultimate freedom for your nuts. Not true. I would keep my package secure.
That's a rumor. Yeah, it's definitely not true.
It's and just also, a myth.
Do you really want nuts that are going to hang down to your knees?
Yeah, and that's a problem I have because I'm 80. So, I've always tripping over them. So if you're tripping over your nuts or if, say if your boobs are sagging too low, they do women's underwear as well. Yeah. It's great.
Man, the older you get, the more important it is to keep your nuts secure. Like Frenchie, Nobby doesn't sponsor the Tom and Frenchie podcast, so he doesn't have a single pair of Nobby. So the downside of that is he drags his nut. He's so old that he drags his nuts around for miles. Yeah. The upside of that is he can technically perform in two places at once because his nuts can be performing in Newcastle while he's performing in Sydney.
Yeah, and they're just like laid down the highway.
Yeah. People just have to watch their step on the way out. So, that's probably the only upside to it. But otherwise, I would recommend signing up.
We're just doing a brand deal. Like we're just getting our cash and you've really just had a drive by at Frenchie there. Like
Yeah.
he has nothing to do with this partnership. Nobby probably wouldn't appreciate that. But guys, what we would appreciate is going to nobby.com.au, using our code SOUNDOFF. You get $5 off your first pair. They're absolute legends, and the underwear is genuinely sick. Everyone who signs up literally never goes back.
That's right. That's right. And speaking of first pairs, Frenchie's so old that he actually has the first pair of nuts ever.
Yes. If you want to see the world's first ball sack, go to Frenchie.com and buy a ticket or something. I don't know.
But yeah, please do support the brands that support our drive-bys on Frenchie. Nobby.com.au. Use code SOUNDOFF for $5 off your first order. Let's get back to the show.
Okay, well that's it. That's concluded, and I'm looking forward to doing the table read of the spontaneous bowling episode that we recorded on an iPhone at a bowling alley during a lunch break once. Some call it a podcast, others call it we recorded our lunch break for 40 minutes.
Yeah,
That's before we move on to that, I just want to show you guys real quick, if you haven't seen it already. Alex Sky in the Discord has actually started you can't see it, transcribing the entire episode of the Patreon
Oh my
podcast.
god. How many pages has he done? Like 5?
He's done 8 pages so far.
wow.
Wow.
So that's pretty good. Good on him.
Can't
Well,
wait for that.
that's great because we're notoriously lazy here. So I'll do a table read, but I'm not transcribing it. So if he finishes that, we'll do the table read for Patreon. That sounds great.
That's so funny. Lewis, you said that you had some sun tail.
Yep. So it's been a month since my new son moved in. Jasmine's little brother is living with us at the moment. He's been here for a month now, and he's doing great. We took him into the studio, but before COVID, just to hang out with us while we worked. Luke, you were not there, but everyone was there. It was me, Jazz, my son, Devlin, Keelan, and Reese as well, who edits for you. Reese is notorious on your podcast for being a bit of a robot. You've never seen him use the bathroom.
Never seen him use the bathroom, but also that he is quite known for being poorly programmed as well. He didn't know how to use a fork, we realized on tour.
He's also can't
didn't
be
see
trusted.
a problem with it. Yeah, and also didn't know...
What do you mean he didn't know how to use a fork?
Like he was putting food in his mouth and didn't understand that's not how you put food in your mouth with utensils.
What do you mean? How was he using it? You're gonna have to explain it.
Instead of like putting your finger over the fork and eating like
he was stabbing it.
Stabbing it like a caveman, like it was a pitchfork. Using a fork like
funny.
a trident. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And also there was a notorious incident on my podcast where we realized that he didn't know that batteries, the flat side always goes on the spring.
Really?
He was looking at the positive and matching up positive, positive, negative, negative every time he put a battery in.
Wow.
He didn't realize there was a consistency with flat side, spring, other side, just put in.
That's great. And also, he can't be trusted. He's a big liar, especially if you're telling jokes that he may not understand.
Yeah. But we love Reese here.
We do love Reese here. But anyway,
apparently he's not getting it's not a great ad.
No, look, he's a great guy, but he's also a bit of an android that wasn't programmed correctly. But that's fine, blame the manufacturer. Now, my son met him and then spent the whole day there, and then we went home. And then he didn't really say much, but then in the drive home, he goes, that Reese guy. I was like, yeah. And he goes, he has like a default face. I think I see it everywhere.
Is in like me, like a boring head?
Yeah, like a generic.
Yeah, dude, Reese and I are so weirdly similar.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. I think it's the type of face you get when you just like go home, buy a slab of Great Northern, and just slowly work your way through it for the next 2 weeks. I think that's the kind of face you get up.
It's the kind of face you get when you open up a fresh new save of The Sims, and they present you with a character, and then instead of editing how they look, you just go, "That's perfect."
Yep.
Create.
We just look like
Default.
a me on
Yeah.
like a Wii character, but when you don't give him an afro.
Yeah. Yeah. But so yeah, he's fitting in really well, my son. This morning, Luke, you might be a bit jealous.
Yeah. Are you
He made
sure? Can you get him in line? Because if I don't like the fact that my employee, he's working remotely at the moment, so he's coming into the warehouse, so he's not just working his own. Still working for me at the time. And can you just keep your son in line? Just roasting my employee for his default face.
Hey,
I'm not. Hey.
He did it behind his back.
Oh, well then that's fine. I mean, I'm not saying I don't agree with him. I'm just saying, can you keep him in line?
I'll keep him in mind.
Can you tell him to stop spitting straight facts in the car ride home?
I will. Yeah. But this morning, mate, he's really settling in. Guess what? He made breakfast in bed.
For you.
For just Jasmine.
How come you didn't get it?
Eggs, bacon, toast, the works for just Jasmine, not me.
Doesn't respect you.
He comes in with a big plate. He goes, I've made breakfast in bed. I'm in the bed. Where's my breakfast?
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it. No remorse. He goes, oh, I only wanted to make one.
But it's not... Does he know that it's not hard to just put in more bacon?
I would say that it's more effort to not do it because you have to then explain, oh, I only made it for one of you.
Yeah, all you got to do is get out 2 plates. Actually, the same amount of effort making it for 2 people as one. Maybe the extra egg is a bit annoying.
So, I'm really liking like the subtle disrespect. Like, obviously, I'm rubbing off on him. Like, not even really thinking about other people.
Yeah, you know why? Dude, you ain't his real dad. He's treating you like a stepdad. He doesn't give a fuck. Yeah. He's just like, you're not my real dad, so I'm not going to make you bacon.
You don't deserve breakfast in bed.
Oh, what?
You spend all day playing World of Warcraft and that's it.
Hey.
Is that facts? I think that's facts.
Yeah, true. I am gearing up for Raid. It's Thursday night. That's tonight.
Well, then no breakfast in bed.
Yeah, all right. Well, see, and that's how it goes.
Yeah, how about start spending less time with your guild, more time with your son, and then he might respect you. You're a neglectful father, except you're just doing it virtually.
Hey.
Maybe invite him to your guild, and then you can start hanging out more.
We have been playing video games together. It's kind of sick. We've got a gamer house.
Wow, so much LED
and
headphones, and clearly lack of social skills going around. Yeah. Can't wait to witness it when I get back.
Hey, you know what really makes me upset is that we're playing games. He's better than me.
Of course he is. He's 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes
you
I've
have problems.
lost my identity.
Yeah, you have you have problems. I know for a fact you do more paperwork these days than leveling up, and it shows clearly in your ability.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, he just pretty much has one thing to focus on, and it's crushing you.
Yeah. Obviously, and it's working.
What were you good at back in the day?
Counter-Strike. I was real good at Counter-Strike. But now we're playing a game that's incredibly similar to Counter-Strike. We're playing Splitgate, and he's better than
I got
than
that.
I ever
Is that
was.
cross-platform?
It is. Let's play.
Oh, hell yeah. I haven't played yet. It's like Halo with portals, apparently.
It's so good. It's awesome.
Yeah, shit. I downloaded it. I have not actually played it yet, but
yeah,
it looks confusing because I'm not even that good at Halo, and I was terrible at that. What's that other Portal game? Was it just called Portal?
Portal?
yeah, that one. I was terrible at that. I'm also bad at flying games. Whenever you add a 3D element into like a 2D, what should be a 2D game, I'm awful. Like whenever I have to fly a fighter jet or something in a video game and there's a 360 axis, don't know which way's up, which way's down.
I've never been able to wrap my head around jets. Like,
can't do it.
With Grand Theft Auto, I can drive, I can shoot, I can do everything. You put me in a jet, I'm going to be upside down in a minute.
I don't understand it. I'm so bad at it. I need one of those like joysticks or something.
Yeah, people do actually have them. I have on my computer, I will, when I have to get into a helicopter or a plane, I will switch from keyboard to my controller. I have it here because it makes more sense.
Yeah, right, because you got an access there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Look, you know what? I'm proud of him. The fact that he didn't make you breakfast, he's beating you in video games. He's quickly becoming the alpha of the Spears household, and you better watch yourself.
I think that he's trying to do. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to out alpha me. You know.
Yeah.
Last night he trashed me in Splitgate, and then this morning he made breakfast for only Jasmine. It's the most alpha shit I've ever seen, and he's 13. He's going to be a monster when he's older.
You better fast track that chin. Because otherwise it will be over for you.
Well, you know what is funny is because he's 13, right? So me and him are going to have braces at the same time.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome. You better get a family pic.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's great. Well, yeah. How long have we been on for?
I think we're coming up to the end here, unless there's anything else that we need to do.
I don't think I have any other tidbits. I haven't left my Airbnb in 3 days, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I also haven't left my house. Quarantine has been extended in Melbourne. It's just happened in Canberra is in quarantine now. So that means, you know what that means? It's going to be fixed in 2 days now that it's the politicians' problem. I've been waiting for this. Canberra didn't go into quarantine at all. You watch. They'll come up with a solution in 2 days when they go, oh, it's happening to me.
They'll be like, yeah, true. We can't fuck in the prayer room. Damn it. All right, let's get this thing sorted.
Yeah, I think it's all going well. And my doorbell rang before we started the episode and something was delivered, Keelan.
That's exciting.
It's going to be the final nail in the coffin of this swim race. My Apple Watch just arrived.
Oh,
and
let's go.
Where are we going?
Is that a Nike symbol on the Apple Watch?
I got the sports band because I'm going to be doing
you're an
sports
athlete
in it.
now.
I'm an athlete.
Do an unboxing now.
Oh,
I'm
man.
not going to do an Apple Watch unboxing. It's this. What do you reckon? Is it? An Apple Watch. Wow.
What are you
Well, the same
expecting
thing
to
I
find
have.
in the box?
Oh well, now I have to know.
Yeah. Damn it. Now we're doing an... No, this is... I want to make it very clear this is unsponsored and I'm indifferent to this product.
Okay, me too.
Good. We stand in solidarity as indifferent to Apple sports watches.
Jeez, whatever's in this box, I have no strong feelings one way or another about it.
For audio listeners, he has opened the box, and Keelan and I
Strap.
are just as confused as you
Sports
are as
band
to
strap.
why this has made the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Some would say this is bad content. Those would be correct. That would be... All right. There's a
Hey, when
box
you said
within a
sports
box.
Band, I thought you meant something else.
Yeah,
And
no,
I'm
this
very
is
indifferent
just a
product.
regular...
What do you think I meant?
I don't know.
Like a
Some
band
rubber.
that exclusively sings about sport?
Mm. The hunters and collectors, guys. They're
Yeah.
your holy grail.
While we're watching him unbox, Luke, do you want to tell everyone about the latest Patreon episode we did?
Oh, yeah, we told them a little bit about it last week, but just to reiterate, Keelan got
44
busted.
millimeter.
Okay, Keelan got busted by his mum with putting his dildo in the bin. Actually, no, his mum's housemate.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, you missed this. It was great.
What?
Mate, you're just going to have to jump on the Patreon, Lewis.
I gotta join the Patreon. I gotta listen to that.
Yeah, Keelan's mum's housemate found a bowling ball and a dildo in the bin and then brought it inside.
Hang on. You threw out your bowling ball. That's the most shocking thing about this.
Yeah,
no-
I cleaned up my old car.
No, mate, it's on the Patreon.
Was that still rolling around in your car?
You were my old car. You know that car that you left a bunch of KFC in all the way back in April? That car.
Yeah, I remember that KFC.
All right, let's... have you unboxed it?
I think so. I'm struggling to get it out of the wrapper. I don't know. It's what the fuck is that?
This has just fallen apart.
What was that?
Sorry, I thought I muted myself. My bad.
That was such an aggressive sneeze. It sounded like your brain just fell out. Oh my god. All right, guys, thanks very much for tuning in. There is the Apple Watch. I'm so indifferent to that. I am on the fence. And guys,
Man, I bought this before lockdown. Now I can't use it. Now I'm just sad.
jump on the Patreon. Try not to get into any Crumb disputes, otherwise it will enter the Crumb court. The Crumb court session, look, all the big cases we will cover on the actual show.
Not
Any
everyone's going to get a Crumb Court. This is only going to be if you usually Crumb Corner, when you get sent there, it's pretty obvious whether or not you deserve it, but there are some on the fence cases. So if you have an instance in your life where you thought you may have been a crumb or you thought someone else was a crumb,
you don't
email
have to
it
be
to lukeandlewis5@gmail.com and we'll review the case.
You don't have to be in the Patreon. Obviously, this one, it started off there. We will review minor petty disputes, perhaps on the Secret podcast, on the Patreon episodes. But main cases, if you want to send them through an email, lukeandlewis5@gmail.com, we will decide whether you're a loaf or a crumb and send it to you either way. So that is it. Cheers for tuning in. There is the sports band. Wow. I've never felt more neutral about a product in my life.
Yeah, look, it's there.
It exists.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Bye.